Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the Aalto Open Days. Today we are going to discuss what it's like to study a master degree in the School of Electrical Engineering here on Aalto. And keep in mind that you can send questions to the panelists in the chat about their experiences and their studies, and all questions about applying to the Aalto University will be answered at the webinar hosted by Admission Services on Friday. So keep these kind of questions for then. You can also contact them at the admissions@aalto.fi. So let's begin. Who are we? I will be your host today. I'm Milica, and this is my first year here with the Aalto squad. I am the student of architecture in the master's degree, and this is also my first year at Aalto. And now I will ask my panelists to tell something about themselves to you. Henry, you can start.
Yeah, nice to meet you. My name is Henry Toivola. I'm actually a first year's master's student here in Aalto after completing my bachelor's. I did my bachelor's in automation and now I study life science technology. I have lived here for a nice long while, and I'm really active in the student community here, so I hope I'll be able to provide you good answers for your questions.
Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Mohammed Mustafa. I'm from Egypt, and I'm studying in the program of electronics and nano engineering, the master's program. And I started like 2 years ago. Now I'm finalizing my thesis and hopefully will be graduating in like a couple of months. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you. The first topic we are going to discuss about our studies here on Aalto, and it's good to know that Aalto is home to unique study paths. So it would be nice if you share with us, why did you choose to study at Aalto University at the first place? Henry, you are here for longer. Maybe you can start as well.
Yeah, I chose Aalto because I lived nearby and I heard that this was the best place in Finland. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go check it out. We actually had like an event in our high school where we came here to just like check around what kind of labs there are, what kind of people there are. And I was just instantly like, okay, this is the place I want to be. Like a short walk from the candidate building to the lab we're going to. I met business people, I saw architecture people, I saw students running around building stuff, and there was even a guy on a skateboard singing opera, and nobody looked at him funny. So I was like, okay, this is a place I want to get to instantly.
Oh, wonderful. And how about you?
Okay, so for me, it was a little bit different because I'm not from Finland. So I had many options, like different countries, different universities, and so on. But the main reasons why I chose Aalto, there are actually two reasons. So the first reason is that Aalto is very popular in the field of research I'm interested in, which is electromagnetics. So there are many really good professors in this field in Aalto. So that made me think about Aalto in the first place. But then I chose Aalto over other universities that are also good in the same research field because of the benefits I get as a student, specifically as international students. For example, the Aalto scholarship, there's a scholarship so I can apply, and it's possible that I don't need to pay tuition fee. Also, there are other benefits for international students and also all students, like the discounts on housing and
yes, we will get to that later, so you can show them like in detail.
Yeah, sure.
Great.
This is how I choose Aalto. Yeah.
Okay, great. So what is the best part about studying at Aalto for you?
Mohammed, do you want to go first this time?
Yes.
Okay, I can go. Maybe I can see what is different, like in Aalto than in my maybe previous study. It could be the environment, the relaxed environment. Like I'm not pressured a lot. I'm like in the courses or even in doing my thesis, I don't have this kind of pressure or hurry that I need to accomplish everything really fast. I think that the environment here in Aalto or in Finland in general is very relaxing. You can study and do your work still in a good environment. What about you, Henry? What do you think?
I think that's a really good answer. But I find it really hard to answer this question because personally, the student life is the thing for me here. But also, like Mohammed said before, like the professors are really good. Most of the courses are really good. So it's a combination of so many things. Like Aalto just finds the really good balance between like student life studying, being able to apply for work and everything else. So it's the combination we have here. It's just magical.
Yes, I can feel you. It's same for me. So what made you want to study your field here?
Yeah.
Your field at all?
Yeah. Personally, I came here because I was interested in like bioinformation technology and automation. So I wanted to combine robotics and like bioinformation technology. For example, there's the picture of like a prosthetic hand and everything. Because well, I came here, I saw that there were labs, there were like research groups who were working on many kinds of different applications, and you could look for things like basically I thought that I might be a researcher, but then I thought that maybe I want to be an entrepreneurship man or maybe just something else. So lots of choices in the field of automation and electrical engineering.
And how about you, Mohammed?
So for me, I just like physics. I just like to understand how the universe works. So for me, electromagnetics was like my passion. Like when I was young, this was what I was passionate about. And I found in Aalto, I found that this field is really good, like the research and also the courses. So yeah, this is why I wanted to study in this field.
Wonderful. So how are your studies like? For example, what kind of courses are there? Are there like seminars, projects, group work? And how flexible are your studies in terms, can you affect some courses that you take? And do you have a mandatory attendance? Henry, you can start.
Oh boy, there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, our structure works that you have courses which are mandatory. Then you can freely choose your minor. And then you have studies which you can choose from basically anywhere in Aalto, or if you are into it, basically any university in Finland. So we have lots of lectures, of course, lots of exercises, for example, just pure maths or coding exercises. And sometimes if we're lucky, there is courseworks like projects. Maybe you build some small robot or something like that, or maybe you go to excursions to different companies and get some experience, see how like people actually work at your field. So it's really varied and it depends a lot on the course. I hope I answered at least some of the questions.
Yes, that's so cool that you can build a robot here. And Mohammed, is it same for you?
Okay, yeah. So there are courses that are like just similar to any other university. Just courses with homework, final exam, and a project. But what is different here, I think it's different from other universities, is that you have a lot of flexibility. For example, you can agree with a professor, do your own project, something that you actually choose. And if the professor agrees, you can get credits for that. You can get credits for attending seminars, for reading some papers. It's pretty flexible, and there are multiple options to get credits with the content that you are actually choosing yourself, not a curriculum just put a professor put and teach. So in my opinion, this is really good. I got maybe 15, 20 credits from that, something that I really choose and design myself. Yeah, so this is what I see different, you know.
Yes, there is apparently a lot of flexibility at your program. So can you tell me, is the multidisciplinarity play a role in your studies, and are there multidisciplinary opportunities in your studies?
Yeah, I want to jump on back, but Mohammed says that you can get credits for things that are not like actually courses. There you can see a picture of me, one mechanical engineer and physicist. We had just launched a rocket, a little rocket, because it was like a student project. And we were like, okay, we want to build this project. We want to like break the world record in micro rocketry. Sadly, the landing of the rocket was not such good as we hoped, but there you can see that you can literally get credits if you just talk to people like, hey, we're doing this cool thing. It's really close to our fields. and then you can just find students who are interested in the same thing as you are, and we were able to form a student research group with multiple different fields in it.
Great. Mohammed, do you have like some experience in multidisciplinarity here? Like taking
Not
maybe some
really.
other courses apart from your program?
Yes, yeah, so it is not totally out of the scope of my studies, but for example, I'm majoring in microwave, and I took some courses from the photonics major as a minor. So um, in my opinion, you can do that. Like you have, for example, in most programs, you have only like 5, 6, 7 mandatory courses for your program, but almost all other courses you can choose from other programs or even departments. Like if I would like to take an architecture course or a course in arts, I can really do that. I didn't do it, but I mean, if someone is interested, that's a possibility.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's good to know that it's
Also,
possible.
sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. Go.
But it's also possible like to mix fields really well, like Mohammed said, and also it is possible to switch your fields somewhat as well if you study here for a longer time.
This is what I was talking about as flexibility. Like I think
Exactly.
you have total control over your studies. You can, if what you want is educationally beneficial for you, the professor or the committee will just agree and you will be permitted to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's really great. So can you tell us more about how is your course load like? For example, how the semesters work here on Aalto, and yeah, can you describe that for us?
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
yeah, okay.
Basically, we have 2 semesters which are split into periods. There are 2 periods in the fall and 3 on the spring side. Basically, you can choose courses that last for, some do like 1 period, some do 2, some go over the whole year. So that depends a lot on your studies and which courses you take. Basically, we have a system where 1 credit equals about 27 hours of work. Some courses do more, or some courses do less, but that's what they're aiming for. So basically somewhere around weeks for me. So I think that's.
Oh, sorry, can you repeat? Because I think it's something going on with your connection.
Where
Maybe?
did I cut off?
Yeah.
It was not clear. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, we lost you at
basically
27 hours.
Okay, then. There we go. Yeah. So basically somewhere around, let's say 4 or 5 courses per period is already a lot of work. So it depends on how much you want to work and what's like, but you can get lots of credits in 1 course or period, or you can just relax a bit as well.
Mohammed, would you like to add something?
Yeah. Maybe one thing to mention is that, like, if you would like to finish your masters in time, so you need to have around 60 credits per 1 year. So this is around 30 credits per semester. So 1 semester is like in fall or in spring. You need to take from 4 to 6 courses around this number. But also you can take some courses or some internship in the summer and also get credits. So I would estimate that you will need to take in the fall or in the spring something around 4 courses on average. And every course has its own workload. Some courses need more like hours to put in more than others. But I think 4 courses would be good and not a lot of load on the student, in my opinion.
And what courses are you taking at the moment?
At the moment, okay, you can go first.
Yeah, you can go.
Sure. Right now, I'm doing a structure of brain course on the life science technology, also complex networks. Then I have, what's it called? Embedded real-time systems from AEE. And what's the last course? I always forget the title. Basically, signal processing in biomedical applications.
And yes, how about you, Mohammed?
Actually, I'm not taking any courses now
Oh no,
because
yes, you're working your
yeah, yeah,
thesis right now. Yes,
yeah, I'm
sorry, I
finalizing
forgot,
the
my
thesis,
bad.
so yeah, I'm not having any courses.
Okay, do you have like some favorite course, maybe, that you have?
Someone?
Like
What?
favorite course of yours that you have before?
Yeah. For example, the metamaterials course. There's a course called metamaterials. This course is not actually taught at any other university. It is only here because like the professors are the masters of this field. So yeah, I really like this course, and actually I like that I'm now a teaching assistant in this course. Yeah, so this is my favorite course.
Okay, thank you. It's good to
Nice.
hear that.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us how does a typical day look like? Maybe Henry can start because he's still in his studies. No, sorry, Mohammed, it's your schedule.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. So because of Corona, my day started to shift a little bit. So I started to wake up not very early and sleep a little bit late. So yeah, my day usually starts 9:30, 9:45, just before the lecture. Usually there's a lecture or like a course I start at 10. Then lunchtime in Aalto, I think it's everyone is eating lunch around 12, which is a good thing so that we can all meet and have lunch together. Then just from 1 to 7, for example, I just study, work, attend another lecture, do something productive if I can. Then at the night, it's just free time. Sometimes I play basketball, like I practice basketball, sometimes hang out with friends, watching some movies and so on, then just sleep.
Okay, great. And now, Henry, you can tell us how your day was like.
Yeah. Well, I try to wake up at 8:30, hit the snooze a couple of times, and then actually get up and plan the day. The thing is that my plans will change quite a lot. So usually I do have the remote lecture really early, and then I either eat at campus at home. But after that, it depends a lot. Sometimes it's just straight up like a study day. Sometimes I have to work because I just started part-time working at the same time, or I do a lot of volunteering with the guild. For example, yesterday we just spent the whole day shopping things for the guild, and today I have been working since the morning, just on my part-time job. So it depends a lot. And then at night I try to get some time for some hobbies and playing some video games with friends and stuff like that. Also, as many coffee breaks as possible during the day.
Okay, thank you. Now we are going to move forward to talk about our campus. Our beautiful campus in Otaniemi is surrounded by nature and only a 10-minute metro ride away from Helsinki city center. So can you tell us what is the campus like in terms of size or different facilities that students can use?
I can start because I'm the one who took this picture. I just took it like a few days ago, like 2 days ago. So the main thing I like about campus are green areas. So it's pretty green. And I like that too much. I think it helps me to clear my mind and not be dismotivated or something like that. The other thing is that, yeah, exactly. So the other thing is that at the campus, like if I can say the student dorms or like the student housing or where we live, it is not huge. So I like that if I go to eat lunch at 12, every day I would see someone I know and I will talk to many people and we will have discussions or like just have fun, hang out without any planning because we all go to the same, for example, same cafeteria like staff or April. So this small size of it's not very small, but I mean compact to some extent helps us to stay connected. It's easy to socialize, easy to talk to people and make friends, in my opinion.
And how about you, Henry? You can actually tell us what is your favorite thing about the campus?
I think like the newer buildings are really nice. I like the architecture, And also, like Mohammed said, like the green spaces are really amazing. Like the whole campus is basically like park space for green spaces, and you can also, like, personally enjoy like running. So you can just from my house to the running place is literally 20 meters. So it's really easy. Also, once again, the complexity. We have a startup region, we have a sports region, we have like a region for where are the classes are, we have place where we can party, and we have place where we can like actually like live. So it's amazing.
Yes, and also a lot of places where you can study.
Yeah,
like at the uni.
Sure. I thought those would go with the like study spaces, but yeah, we have lots of those as well. Like you can literally rent a little room for free from the campus area, or you can go to the library or anywhere else. There's lots of good spaces.
Okay, now we can talk more about housing and student benefits, because students in Finland are entitled to many benefits. So Mohammed, you can actually start on this one.
If you can go back like to the previous slide.
Okay.
There's this, I get this from like that Frank app. So for students, there's this Frank app full with a lot of discounts from many different like stores. So this is one benefit you get, like you get a lot of discounts. Also, other benefits are like the housing. If you then go to the next slide. So, for example, I will talk about my experience. Since I came, I'm living in HOAS. HOAS is like a company that provides housing for students in Helsinki region. And if you apply as a student in HOAS, you get like an apartment or a room. You can probably get it in Otaniemi or nearby to Aalto, and you will have like discounted price. For example, your room or apartment can range from like 200 euros to something like 400 or 500 euros, depending on the location and the size. But this is one benefit for the student, which is a little bit cheap or discounted housing. So Henry, what about them?
Personally, I have lived at AYY. They have almost everything here at like the campus.
Can you just tell us what AYY is?
AYY is,
because not everyone familiar with it.
Yeah, it's the Aalto University Student Union. So basically, they own a lot of housing near the Helsinki region, so we can live here cheap. But also the housing options. Basically, you can get really good housing here at the campus, but you might also be in the lottery for areas near Helsinki or Espoo. But those are usually like along really good transport lines. So, for example, international student who is just coming in here got her housing at Pasila. So she will just jump on a bus and get to the campus really easily. Some people get their places from other places in Helsinki region, so they can use the metro, or some people use the bus from, for example, Leppävaara, which is nearby Otaniemi. So it changes a lot, but all the housing is really nice. It's like it's how you make it, basically.
Can you tell us more about like different types of apartment that are available here for students, if you're familiar with that?
Sure. Basically, you can get like a single housing, so you have like a room for yourself, and that's basically it. You can also apply with a friend to get like a couple rooms and a kitchen area, but there's also like what's it called, like cell, solo, like cell housing, where you share a space with lots of students. Like you have your own room, lockable, and then you have a kitchen shared with everybody and some common areas and stuff like that. But you also always have your own like bathrooms and showers.
Yeah, it's like a dormitory. Mohammed, would you like to add something?
No. Just for international students, what is different, I think in Finland, that there's no option for like a two people room. Like you always have your own room. If it's a apartment or a studio or whatever, at all for the all options, you still have your own room, which is a little bit different than other countries. This is something I like in Finland.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. So where do you live now? Or why did you choose to live there?
Can you actually put us to the next slide?
Next, okay.
You can see right there at the top, you can see SMT 10G. I'm literally right there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I live in the location that I just pointed out on the right top.
Okay.
It's called GMT 11, Yamrin Taibil 11. When I first came here, I was living in Lepapara. It was like 30 minutes from camps. But later, I preferred to come live on camps, like in Utanyami, to engage more with like events, with the student life, and so on. So currently, I am in GMT 11. And I think for students, as you see, the location down is A block. We can call that like the center of the campus. And then we all how to say everything up in the map is like the student housing and student apartments. So as you see, if you live anywhere in Utanyami, you can reach any point in the campus. Like you can reach the center of the campus within 15 minutes walking. So 10 to 15 minutes, you can go anywhere in campus.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And even if you don't happen to live at the campus, all the public transport comes right to the middle. So when you actually arrive at the campus, you don't have to walk too much at all. So it's even if you don't get the apartment in Otaniemi, you still get it quite easily. And also you can keep on applying for housing. So you can get house wherever you get it, and then you can keep on applying for like, okay, I would like to live in Otaniemi. Can you see if there is a place there at some point? So that's also an option.
Yes, it's good to know that as well.
One thing to point out, I like this picture because it shows out that there are many things. Like in the picture, you can see that there are many restaurants around. There's like one hospital or like medical center. There's also a field, like the Otaniami sports field. We are surrounded by like the ocean from everywhere. So, and also there's like smoky for events. So the camps have almost everything you would need if you would like to do sports or like food stores, everything you would like to need, you will have it within probably 10-15 minutes around.
There's actually a Finnish term called otaantua elämästä, which is you become a student here in Otaniemi and you never have to leave Otaniemi, so you're just like confined in that area.
I heard that as well when I came here. So you kind of covered this one already, but can we just sum up what kind of student benefits are there?
Basically, you can get benefits for most things. For example, you can see the picture of food. You can get student meals for like less than €3 full meal from the cafeterias. You can get minus 50% of public transport tickets. Most movie theaters and everything like culture things also give student discount. Go to amusement park, you get student discount. You dive into the maze that is Frank, you get a student discount from almost any book or anything you are looking for.
Can you explain what the Frank is?
I think Muhammad knew that even better than me.
Okay, so as I showed, there was a picture. So Frank is basically a student application for students where you have your own like ID, like student ID on that application, and you can also check all the discounts you have in different stores. For example, if you are looking to buy an electronic device, you can just check Frank what kind of stores that are having discounts on electronic devices, and you can benefit from this discount. And usually, if anything you would like to buy, you will probably find a discount on Frank for that. Yeah, this is basically Frank for me.
Okay, thank you. Now we can move on to career opportunities, and I believe that you guys have like different views because you are still a student, you're almost like graduated and your master's and you're working. So students can explore different kind of work opportunities already during their studies. So I would like to ask you, is it possible to combine studies with work?
If you're willing to work hard and long hours, that's what I think, but it's completely possible. You just have to plan how do you want to do your studies and your work at the same time. And the good thing here about the workplaces is that they're really understanding about working while studying. And usually they tell you if you work part-time, that put your studies first and work for us as much as you want or you can. It's easy to basically make a deal that, okay, I'm doing 10 hours this week, or I'm doing 5, or I'm not doing anything this week because it's the exam week or something like that. So it's completely possible.
It's really flexible. So what kind of career opportunities are there? Mohammed, for example, you work at the university right now?
Yes, true. So I was going to say that as Henry said that if you are working in a company, you will need to balance between your studies and your work. But for me, the best mix, and this is what I do, I will tell more about like my experience, is to work something related to your studies. For example, I'm doing my thesis as a work. So I do research, I get paid for it, and still the output is my thesis that I will submit and get my degree with it. So this kind of work is really nice. For example, if you're interested in robotics, you can apply to do research in a robotics group. You will get paid, and at the same time, you will be finishing your thesis, like your studies. And something good about Aalto is that every summer there are hundreds of positions for students. So every summer there will be available like research position in all research groups. You can apply, and if you get accepted, you will be working during the summer on a research project. And as I said, you can put that in your studies. So for me, this is a really good strategy to take. So you get both done, working and studying.
And how students can hear about these job offers? Are there any career webs, events, networking, company presentations, or anything?
Initially, the easiest way is to look into the web page. So I think it's in November or December, there is an announcement on the website of the department. If you just open the website, it will be on the top. They say that we have open positions. You go to this link and you see all the listings of the available positions. The way I like it actually more is just to talk directly to professors or researchers. In my opinion, here everybody is very responsive. If you send an email to a professor or a teacher, he will probably respond within a couple of days. And you can just see if you are interested in some groups, research groups, contact them, ask them, propose that you want to work with them and see the response. This is my advice to students.
Yeah, we also have lots of career fairs here in Aalto. Basically, companies come in here, like basically take over one of the biggest buildings, and then they're literally looking for people to work during the summer, or looking for engineers because they really need them. And also, if you're into that kind of thing, startups are really big here in Aalto. We have, for example, Design Factory, Startup Sona. I think, I'm not sure about the numbers, but I think it's the most like startups in Finland start here in Aalto University. So if that's your thing, then you're definitely coming to the right place.
Do you have personally some experience with it? No?
Yes, actually.
Yes, would you like to share that with us?
Just a little, like basically I thought about the rocket project before. Basically, me and my friend Emil, we went to this Fall Up place, which is like a slush startup event, but smaller, organized by students. We found this man who was advertising that he's working on this kind of project and he's looking for people who want to join. And even as a second year students, we're like, okay, well, we'll come check it out and see what's going on. So that's how we got started on that project. But then we have things like Aalto ESN and like Aalto Entrepreneurship Society and many other things that just like try to push students to take control of their life in the sense that they want to be entrepreneurs.
Okay, and what does the life after graduation look like? Hamid, for you? Yeah, you're almost done.
I'm not technically graduated
Yeah.
yet, but
Do you have some plans?
Yeah, I actually already agreed with my professor to continue into a PhD. So this is one path. After your master's, maybe you would like to continue in a PhD, and that's what I did. But also I can maybe talk about what I see. Like my friends or my colleagues, many of them just continue working in the same companies. For example, one of my friends was working in a company, did his thesis in this company, and after graduation, he was just employed in the same company, and now he's working there. So this is one path. So you can go to continue a PhD, or you can just apply for multiple companies. And in my opinion, if you do your thesis in a company, you have a high chance of being employed in this company later.
Okay,
Really high
thank
chances.
you. Would you like to add something, Henry, more about it?
No, I think personally I'm just juggling because I think PhD would be amazing, but at the same time, working at the company sounds good, and also the entrepreneurship path is also like something I'm interested in. So I'm doing a little bit of juggling.
You have one
I have some
year
time.
to decide.
I have some time.
Yes. Okay, great. Thank you for these like really detailed answers to this topic. So now we can talk about fun stuff, student life. So what is the student life like here?
I think you'll have to stop me at some point because I'll be
Okay,
talking here for
great.
the next hour.
You can take my part also. You can talk
Yeah,
all the
you're
way.
great experience.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So basically, when you come here in Aalto, we have these things called the guilds. Basically, it's a company of people who study the same field as you two do, and they just have amazing things for you. For example, they organize all kinds of parties, they organize job events, they organize excursions, they organize just sauna evenings and hangout evenings and everything else. For example, in the picture, you can see me with our like, I was the international captain for our guild. So the new international captain, our Fuxi captain or freshman captain, and the new freshman captains, we had basically the whole year made all kinds of events and parties for people who came here to study, so they could learn the Finnish culture and Aalto University like ways. But there's also so many different clubs you can do. For example, a climbing club, a rocketry club, a space club, like anything you want to do, you can do here in Aalto. Like that's the greatest thing. You're into sports, well, you can find a sports team for your sports most likely. You're into like research, you can find a student research group doing something you like, and even if it does not exist, you can basically just do it. So it's great. Also, we have a really big international community which is getting bigger by the minute, and they are also getting hosted like big cities and Lapland trips and all kinds of amazing events.
Can you tell us more about these overalls you're wearing?
Yes,
and
of course.
Caps maybe?
Yeah, so basically the cap is a mark of a teekkari. Somebody who has studied here in Aalto, they will have like a point card that guides them towards becoming a true teekkari. And when they complete those tasks, they get the right to wear their teekkari cap, which is a special thing for us Aalto students. And the overalls are basically a flag you wear on yourself, showing what kind of things you study. For example, you can see the Guild of Automation Systems Technology uses the purple overalls, but then you can see the girl in the front. She is also part of like the Swedish club. So she has like put her overalls together. So you can basically show the world that, okay, I'm studying this and this thing, and it's full of badges, which are like badges of honor from parties and events you have attended to, and all that kind of things. You can basically do whatever you want with the overalls, as long as you don't cover up the sponsor logos. We also have guilds provide other services, like we watch over that the professors actually do their job and the university works with us as closely as possible. So you can also do lots of volunteering if you want. And we have things like ESN and BEST, which is like you can basically join the international community even better, do those things or get courses away from Finland, even if you're studying here for a while. I think I saw a question in chat that says, how big are the guilds? They depend a lot. For example, our guild is like 600 something people. It's one of the bigger ones. And then there are smaller guilds, which are a few hundred people. And the biggest one is like, I think 1,000 or something.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Mohammed, would you like to add something? Maybe have you joined the guild? Do you have your overall?
Yes, of course, I have an overall. I think everybody studying in Aalto have an overall. And when I first came, it was a little bit different to me, the overalls and especially the caps. Uh, but in my opinion, it's a good thing that you feel integrated. So from the first week I was here in Aalto, I get an overall. I like everybody or the captains try to explain to me like the Tikri life. We get this songbook. So in my opinion, it's really good that captains or like all students know how to get new students integrated into the Tikri life. Yeah, I think we will talk about this
Yes,
in the next
later.
couple of
Yeah, I
times.
don't want to
Yeah.
interrupt you. So, what do you do on your free time? Because yeah, you told us that there is a lot of associations, clubs, and guilds, and everything. So, can you tell us?
Yeah, just I will say the same. For example, I in my free time I practice basketball, and I believe that everybody has his own thing. Some people like music, some people like many different things. But I believe anything you're into, you will find a community or a guild or a club about it in Aalto. Um, and there's a lot to do. Like, for example, I never took dancing classes before, but now there's a dancing class just 2 minutes away from my building, so I'm thinking about it. So
Nice.
this is nice. Like you have everything very close to you happening all the time, so you will get a chance to join and try different things.
Exactly. Personally, I don't think there's a golf club anymore in Aalto. My father actually made one, but it has gone away, I think. But I play some golf. I play lots of role-playing games. There's a Otami role-playing club, for example. I do lots of volunteering for the guilds, so we try to make the guilds even bigger and better. Also volunteering for some other student organizations. But there's literally club for everything from like fighting to singing to, like I said, role play, like making gadgets. You can
Making
base
food. Even there's a
yeah.
recently there has been a community just for food, just making
Make
food and
food.
hang out. Yeah. Yeah.
There's even the one international dude who organizes the
Yes.
food evenings where people just come
Yes.
in and bring their
Exactly.
food from their home countries, and that's great.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
it's
that
Yes.
sounds
amazing.
familiar to me. Is it
Yeah,
somewhere at GMT 6?
I think it's
Something
around
else?
that
Yeah,
area.
I
Yeah.
heard
Yes.
about that one. So yeah, now can we move forward to talk more about Aalto community? Aalto is home to a diverse and multidisciplinary communities of students, staff, and faculty. So how you were welcomed to the community when you came here for the first time? Did you have like I mean, you already told that you had like tutors, but how was that? Like, how was the roommates and events, associations, like orientation weeks? Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, the orientation week is for most people the first contact, or there's usually like a head start event just before the orientation week. Basically, I lived nearby, so I step out of the bus and I found lots of people who were looking really confused. And then some dude in purple overalls and a cape ran over to us and told us that, hey, we're coming with him, and told us all about like tech real life. And instantly we had like people we could talk to, we had parties to go to, we had people to study with. And then they instantly told us that, hey, if you want to like truly integrate, you can join all of these clubs, you can join all of these things. So I was just like basically welcomed with open arms, and that was amazing.
Is it the same for you, Mohammed?
Yeah, same for me. As I said, when I firstly come, I felt totally integrated. Like all students or tutors and like captains, everybody is trying to engage new students. I like that, like in the orientation week in the morning, there are practical sessions like telling you how to register to your courses and academic stuff. But in the evening, during the whole orientation week, there is something going on. It could be a gathering, a party, just hanging out around. So just from the first week, you feel that you are fully integrated. You cannot be alone. Like there are so many people you can talk to and so many things you can join. So in my opinion, you probably will feel integrated and you will not feel that you're outcomer just from the first week.
Yeah, I can also say as a captain, like we have lots of tutors who are really interested in meeting people. Like all the guilds have their own like Finnish tutors and international tutors, and the international tutors are really into meeting people from other countries to teach you the basic things about Finnish culture. And we have the thing that nobody's forced to do anything. So if you don't want to take part in any of it, it's also completely fine. But they try to give you all the opportunities you want to have to join in. So basically they want for everybody to feel as welcome as possible.
Yeah, it's so good to know that it's actually easy to make friends here. So regarding that, are Finns difficult to get to know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe a bit, but honestly, I think here in Aalto you find more outgoing Finns than other places in Finland, so it's not as big of a problem. But then again, we have tutors and everybody else. So for example, this one dude who came from Hungary, I was a tutor for him, and we're still together playing D&D and all kinds of things. And he's really active in our guild. So it's really easy to get to know Finns if you spend some time with them and go to sauna and drinking with them sometimes maybe. Or if they just study the same thing you do and you're really good at what you're doing, they will congregate around you and ask for advice for sure.
Oh, great. And Mohammed, how was that for you?
Regarding this, actually, not all friends are like, for example, I have a couple friends, they are really outgoing, maybe even more than international students or even more than in my country. So it just depends on the persons, but as Henry said, the environment in Aalto is very outgoing. Everyone is friendly. As I said, when you just go to eat lunch at 12, you will just keep talking and joining people. And so, in my opinion, the environment is outgoing and it's easy to make friends, especially in the first couple of weeks. Everybody is just getting to know other people. So, in my opinion, it's not hard to make friends.
Yes, thank you for your answers. And the next question is, what is it like to be an international student at Aalto? Did your expectations were fulfilled, or did you expect more or less?
Yes,
Yeah.
there are many aspects about that, but I will talk about maybe the social aspect. So being international in Aalto, I think it's nice because there are many international students in Aalto. I think 20% of students are international, and every semester there are exchange students coming from all over Europe, and also degree students coming from all over the world. So in my opinion, it's nice. You meet people from many different countries. You get exposed to many different cultures. So I think it's nice. And on the other hand, I'm not sure if we will talk about this later. I don't feel that I'm outsider. Like, for example, the language is not a barrier. I can talk in English or speak in English to anyone.
Yeah, that's actually the question of the day. Is it possible to survive? Yeah, just keep going. Yes.
Yeah. So even you can see now Henry's English is even better than mine. So you can just speak English or talk in English to everybody, and you will not feel that there's a barrier in communication. And also the community in Aalto, or even I can say in Helsinki, is very open-minded. So you will not feel that you are different or you are from outside. You will just feel that this is your community and you are just part of this community. This is how I felt about it in Aalto.
Yeah, I will also add for example, going to Helsinki region, the public transport says all the locations in Finnish, Swedish, and in English. When you go to a store, okay, that's going to be a little difficult figuring out at first, but then again, the self-payment registers we have English options and everything else. And most guilds are also doing their communications in 2 languages, so it's completely doable. But one thing I say, it's really hard to survive without Finnish bank account, and that's gonna be a thing you really want to get.
Yeah, can you tell us more about that? It's because of this strong authentication. You need your bank account for strong authentication.
Exactly.
Yes.
Basically, so many services in Finland want a strong authentication. That's who you are, and for that you need the Finnish bank account. But there's some hoops you have to jump through first to get it. You have to basically have an address, and you have to visit the Finnish DVV and do couple other things. But it's completely like you can get it, and when you have it, everything suddenly turns into really easy.
Okay, so
Maybe I
yes.
can add maybe like the most important advice for an international student, the one that I was missing when like 2 years ago when I was applying. If you are doing anything that needs an appointment, try to get the appointment 2 or 3 months in advance. For example, if you know that you want an appointment to like the registration to register yourself or something, try to get the appointment 2 or 3 months ahead. Same for the bank. Try to get it 2 or 3 weeks in advance because it takes time to get appointments and sometimes you get delayed. For example, you might not be able to get a Finnish bank account because your appointment to register yourself is just in 2 or 3 months. So keep in mind, anything you need to get an appointment for, try to do it in advance.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to add something maybe about learning Finnish at university? Are there opportunities to learn Finnish there?
Yes.
Have you experienced that?
Yeah, sure. So in my opinion, the best way to learn or to start learning Finnish is the course called on Survival Finnish, and there's an online version. So even you can participate in that course before even being in Finland. And also there are always courses running for like Finnish language at different levels. And I think for example, I took two courses, the Survival Finnish and Finnish A1. It is nice to have them so that you have the basics of the Finnish language. It will help you like not really communicate, but like understand a little bit of Finnish. And yeah, you can easily learn Finnish here by courses or even by just trying to learn from like your friends and colleagues.
Yeah. And as far as I know, it's like Mohammed said, it's completely possible. For example, the Hungarian friend I told you before, right now in our group chats, we can talk Finnish because he can like read it as well as English, basically. Sometimes he will ask, hey, what's this word or something like that. Only problem with like learning how to speak Finnish is that Finnish people are horrible people, that we speak really fast and then we leave half of the words away from like the letters away from words. So that's going to be a bit problematic, but it's completely doable if you put your mind into it, like through Duolingo. And I even think there are some YouTube channels that are really focused on like teaching people how to like do Finnish.
Okay, thank you for all of your answers. Now we are more or less finished with this part of presentation. Now we can go through the questions you guys sent in the chat. So the first question is said, this might be answered later. I would like to know about studying for master's degree and working at the same time. What kind of opportunities are there related to this as an international student? Do you even recommend it? It might be important, yeah, because of maybe are there some language barriers or something? Can you tell us something more about it?
Well,
because we already kind of covered this one, but yeah.
I can quickly tell from a personal experience that especially the IT field or like engineering field is really intercultural. For example, at the place I work, we have our Teams meetings in English and most of our communications is in English. So it might be just a little disadvantage on getting like the job, but if you can find something, then you can easily integrate, and most things work really well in English. And also I've heard of students who like get a work here in Finland and then they keep on working like remotely even when they transfer back to their like home countries. One of our students from Czech actually did this, and he makes a huge bank getting Finnish like money while working in Czech.
Okay, Mohammed, would you like to add something?
Yeah, so usually international students like me and my international friends, we usually think about working. So my advice is that you will be able to work, but not within the first semester. So it will take time to find opportunities to have time to actually apply and get accepted and work. So my advice is that do not consider working during the first semester, like during the fall. There is a probability that you can get a job either in research in university or in a company within the spring. But I can say that there is a high probability to get a job offer in the summer. So as I said, university has a lot of positions. Most of the companies have a lot of positions like internships in the summer. So there's a high probability that you can easily get a job in the summer. And of course, after that, if you like the company and the company has still a position open, you can continue after that. And the balance just depends on you. If the work is related to your studies, then it will be easier to balance. If it's not, then it will be a little bit hard, but you can manage. Like you can manage the working to be part-time, just 10 hours per week or something.
So do you even recommend working while studying in general?
It depends on the situation of the students himself or herself. But in my opinion, yes, like if you're staying here, if you are international students studying in Aalto for 2 years, getting a work experience here would be really nice. So instead of only studying, you will also have work experience in a company, for example. You will learn a lot from that. You will also have like that working experience. You will make some money. So yeah, why not? If a student can manage to work while he's or she's studying, I think that would be a good choice.
Okay, thank you. Henry, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I just wanted to add that you might also want to check like get like a part-time position is one of the best, because then you can play with how much money you get paid, because you might lose some benefits if you earn too much. So you might want to check how that works as well. But I highly suggest looking for some kind of work at the same time.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, how much of free time do you spend at activities within Aalto in comparison to outside?
I would
What is
say,
meant by outside?
Yeah, like how much of free time do you spend at activities within Aalto vs outside?
Okay.
Outside Aalto community, I believe.
I mean, let's say, personally, when I go golfing, then I go with like people not from Aalto, but almost everything else I tend to do with friends from Aalto. All the volunteering tends to happen with people from Aalto. Most of my D&D groups come from Aalto University. If I do sports, it's easier to find people here in Aalto who are also interested in the same thing. So I would say something like 85% is in Aalto and maybe 15% outside. But that depends a lot on your hobbies. How about you, Mohammed?
For me, it's 100% from Aalto. I know like there are many people, like a lot of students in Aalto and a lot of things to do. So anything I can do, I can find here within this community. So yeah, I don't have a lot of activities outside Aalto, to be honest.
Okay, thank you. So next question is, do you know how many students learn Finnish during their time at Aalto?
I think for masters, having a language course is mandatory. Like there are 3 credits should be devoted for learning like a language course. And from like my friends and my colleagues, most of them take Finnish course for those credits. So I would say the majority of international students take at least one Finnish course. So Henry, do you have different opinion?
No, I think I kind of agree. I think there's a little problem that in most cases, Finnish people just switch to English instantly. So you don't get to practice your Finnish too much, which I think is a bit problematic. But I don't know in terms of percentages how many like actually super learn it, but at least 25% in my opinion, or something like that. At least our guild had like a Finnish learners group headed by the Hungarian guy I told you before. So he was like really into teaching people Finnish, and many of them learned.
Okay, thank you. So we have one more question. It says, one of students in master's degree in science said that Finnish language proficiency is often required for working in manufacturing, while speaking only English is usually sufficient for engineering, business, or management. How is the reality for students in electrical engineering major?
I think your friend has made a correct assessment. If you are highly educated, then English is often the preferred language, because most of like the terms you will be using anyway are in English, and it's easier to work with companies outside of Finland speaking English. So I think, yeah, if you work in like manufacturing, then they really want you to speak Finnish, but higher education, not so much.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, I agree. I think from like what I see my friends and colleagues doing, most of the companies that they apply to, I can say some, it's fine to say some names, right? For example, Ericsson or Nokia and many other companies, they always ask about English language like skills. Yeah, for engineering, I think in our field, electrical engineering, they do not require specifically Finnish speaking to be hired.
Okay, thank you. I think these are all questions we have. I have to check that. Yeah, if something we might have somewhere. Okay. Okay. There are some questions in the chat, but they are probably about the admissions, and it might be difficult for students to ask. So we will have one more webinar on Friday where you can ask all these questions. So what is next? We recommend you guys to be in contact with us, and remember to apply for the Aalto University. And in case that you have questions about applying to Aalto, as I said before, admission services are really happy to help. You can join the webinar this Friday where these topics are going to be discussed, or you can send an email to admissions@aalto.fi if you have more questions about studying at Aalto and student life. Aalto Squad, our student ambassadors are also happy to help. You can chat with the squad members on Unibuddy. You can also join these Aalto Squad coffee sessions really soon. Be sure that you follow the latest news, upcoming events, and useful links, and check out the aalto.fi/studies regarding all this information. And I would like to thank you all for joining and hope to see you on campus during next academic year. I would also like to thank Henry and Mohammed for today's discussion. And yes, that will be all for today. I hope that you enjoyed.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye.